Good day. Today I'm going to be speaking about how businesses have been influencing the sports industry. And it's something that I'm really passionate about, something that's really struck home with me. And I think I'll be able to get that across to you by the end of this speech. One of the most pressing issues about business is that its continued involvement in sport and the industry worldwide. It's gotten to the point where sports teams aren't even able to compete against one another due to the imbalance in wealth amongst teams. Now, this isn't acceptable. I've also noticed how money has changed sports. I'd like to specifically focus on one sport being soccer, as Americans would call it, or football, as the rest of the world does, and Europe. The sport is definitely the most watched and supported sport in Europe and probably the world. It has ended up happening that due to what seems like a never-ending flow of money, um, the English Premiership, which is an entire league, is not a fair reflection of the best team anymore. The fact that many of these clubs have very wealthy owners means that they're able to buy players from across the globe and ensure that they build the best team instead of bringing it up from the youth. So many aspects of this beautiful game are being destroyed and tarnished by this modern approach and by money-hungry owners because this is a massive league. Its sponsorships are huge. If you win the league, you get monster amounts of money. Now, I've got a little quote here. It says, "Football is its history and its culture are always and have always been invisible from the blue collar supporter base. Liverpool's Kop, Manchester United's Trafford End, Arsenal's North Bank, and Aston Villa's Holt End are just four of the legendary fan strongholds within the grounds that are almost as famous as the players that graced the stage before them. This is just proof of the culture associated into football in England and how much it means to people involved in it. These fans have grown up supporting these clubs like Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester United, Aston Villa, and West Ham, and there's all these teams that so many people support and love with everything. And the way that things are going at the moment, it's just not looking good. A prime example is the fact that uh, a team like Manchester City, which basically was a nobody 10 years ago, I started supporting Liverpool. And at the time, Manchester City was nobody. But slowly but surely, Liverpool has now fallen down the log. And that's due to the fact that they don't have a massive budget like Manchester City. And that's how these teams are making so much money. Is Manchester City is a great example. They've spent over £324 million on players, coaches, and their wages. They also used to end up uh, towards the middle half of the table, and now they're ending up at the top half of the league every year. Uh, but this is odd because a team of their caliber back 5 years ago, before they had money, would barely make the top four spots. However, the rise in wealth at the club and them pursuing and purchasing £324 million worth of players and coaches has helped them climb the log and end up. They actually won the league last year. This was the first time they'd ever won the league, and thus, if this is to continue and their involvement of these wealthy owners, many people worry that the English Premier League will just become a money race and not have anything to do with the support and love of the sport. Support Supporters are like starting to be less loyal, and this isn't easy in England because these people grow up supporting them, and it's just because of the money that the system is based on. It's just ridiculous because we watch the sport. We don't watch it for the amount of money that gets spent on it. You don't watch it for the cool T-shirts that they wear or the massive sponsorships that the players get or their salaries. You watch it because there's a specific intangible reason that you watch these games and the feeling you get from the club. So you can't just follow a team because of the money and because it's a money-based club. It's not the correct way to support a soccer team, in my opinion. This problem arose slowly, but it can also be removed relatively efficiently and quickly. It would need to be done over a 5 to 10 year span, unfortunately. I say unfortunately because soccer in 5 to 10 years, they can buy a lot of players in that time, and therefore the league might be ruined for the next 25 years. So this is a slow progress. 10 years doesn't seem like a long time, but it will have a huge influence. It was obviously a time when there was less money and wealth in the league, and we need to get back to that and save the true ethos of what the league's about. I propose over the 5 year plan that the FA which is basically the federation and association to football, make rules that the league can only put, for instance, a specific amount of money into players per transfer period. This will limit many clubs into only being able to make one big buy or several small buys instead of these massive clubs with lots of wealth spending billions or millions on 6 or 7 good players and just wrecking the whole league. I believe this would be a less drastic method. However, the system in America, it would be a more drastic method, and I don't think it would directly work out for the fans. They'd be very disgruntled, and it would create a lot of problems using the American system that they have here. It's just because of we want to solve this problem, and unfortunately, it's going to create a lot of frustration with the fans if you go to a method that's not going to work. So I think my 5-year plan would be the best. I think that the fans show their frustrations with the current system, and if they were to voice those frustrations heavily on the fact that they don't like the situation, they may get a look in from the FA, and the FA might change the whole rules system. And this is what we need to do to stop this problem. If you feel as strong about the situation as I do, I suggest that you put things right, and you always make the first step and voice your opinion. And if you love soccer, then you'll definitely be doing this. I don't think it's something that anybody who doesn't love the sport would do. I think if you love it with everything, you'll definitely try to get it back to the old school way, and try to get money out of the system. And a great way to prove this way that the system's been influenced is by the fact that they let money influence them. Now, I'm sat in front of you for the past 2 speeches just wearing a normal collared shirt, 1 button undone at the top, or 2 buttons undone at the top. What you've probably failed to realize is that I'm just sitting here in a collared shirt, just one, and I managed to influence you because I'm on my way to the gym, and if I can influence you by wearing a collared shirt, it's obviously easy to influence people using money, and this is unacceptable, and it needs to stop in English football. I hope you enjoyed my presentation. Thank you very much.